Hi guys, and welcome to Dan's Haunted Cottage. Hope everybody's doing well out there, hope everybody's fine and dandy, and everything is going the way that it should be, swimmingly for you. Today, well, I've been promising you guys that I would do an actual video on ghost investigations, and I was going to take you on a paranormal investigation with me. Well, today is the day, because today I'll be going to Pontefract in Yorkshire to carry out an investigation at a place called 30 East Drive. Some of you that are paranormal investigators may know that address. You may be au fait with it, but it's a very, very well-known address in the paranormal world. In actual fact, there was a film made about this address called When the Lights Go Out in, I believe it was 2012. And it centres around a young girl, two young girls really, but one that actually lived in the house with her parents, obviously. And she suffered from a lot of activity due to poltergeist. And it's renowned for being the most aggressive and violent poltergeist case in European history. So it's a good one. Well, we hope it's a good one. I've been there a couple of times before. There has been activity there, just a few knocks and taps. In actual fact, there was some activity there with a ball as well. Like, we use balls as, we do them as like lock-off objects. So we put them in a place and we leave them there, and then what we do is we either mark around them or we'll keep a camera centered on them so that we can see if there's any movement with the ball whilst we're not in the room, or even if we're in the room. And one of my friends did an investigation there sometime. I wasn't present at this one, but he did an investigation there some time back, and they set the ball up. One of the investigators set the ball up above the lounge in the middle of the floor in the bedroom, one of the bedrooms. And then he came back down, and I don't know if he marked it or not, I'm not sure. But anyway, he came back down and they did a seance in the lounge beneath the floor, the bedroom floor where the ball was set up. And then they'd finished there was nothing happened during the seance. They finished the seance, and as they went out the room, they were outside the room and they heard plonk. And they went back into the room, and the ball had kind of, we don't know, it had gone through the fabric of the building, which is a fourth dimensional thing. It had gone through the fabric, but I'm not getting into that. But it had gone through the fabric of the building, it fell through the ceiling, and it landed on the floor. So these are called apports. It's when spirit uses its ability to move an object from one area to another. You know, sometimes you'll say, people will say, well, you know, I went indoors and I put my keys down and then I went to get them and I couldn't find them anywhere. Or my wedding ring, that was one that happened to a friend of mine. He had his wedding ring, put it on the side and couldn't find it, and then months later it turns up back in the most obvious of places. Obviously in some cases that's down to absent-mindedness or age, as probably in my case it would be. But yeah, that's an apport. That's what we call them. And an apport is when something disappears or it reappears. It's the same word, it's the same use. So yeah, so 30 East Drive is a good one. Lots of people won't investigate it because they're fearful of it. In actual fact, the spirit or the entity that is associated with the property is the Black Monk of Pontefract. There's been numerous books written about this house, and there's, as I say, they've made television programs about it, and also they've made a feature film about it, which is actually quite a good film. But you'll get to see inside the house later. You'll get to see some of my friends as well, fellow investigators. And hopefully we'll have a good investigation. So yeah, so I'll see you hopefully when I get to we'll see you when I get to Pontefract. Introduce you to some of the guys, have a walk around the house, and do some footage of hopefully some of the vigils and that we carry out in the property. And you'll get to see you get a rough idea of the type of thing that we do as paranormal investigators or ghost hunters. So yeah, there you go guys, bear with me. It's a long drive to Pontefract, but not for you guys, it'll be a split second. So I'll see you when I get there. Bye guys. Hi you guys, we're here. I'm outside the poltergeist house in Pontefract as promised. You can see it behind me in the background there. Oh, let me have a look, there you go, there it is. So that is the home of the Black Monk.
It's the home of the ghost of the Black Monk, apparently. And this is the house that I was telling, this is the one that all the fuss was about. This was the most aggressive and violent haunted, or poltergeist case I should say, in all of Europe. And there's lots and lots of stuff, lots of activity that's gone on there. And we'll be going inside in a moment. I'll be setting up some equipment, and I will take you on a tour of the property and see if you can listen out for any disembodied voices, any bangs, any knocks. I don't know if there's anything up in the window behind me. Can't see anything, but you never know. Once we go inside there, hopefully we'll get lots of activity, or a bit of activity, and you'll be able to see what me and the guys do when we're actually on a paranormal investigation. So bear with me. Come inside in a moment. We'll have a quick look around. I'll introduce you to a couple of the guys, and we can go from there. Speak to you soon. So I'm going to introduce you to one of my friends and a fellow paranormal investigator. So this man here is Adam.
All right.
There you go. And Adam's, you've done this property before, Adam, haven't you?
Yeah, once on an event. So
Have you had any activity in here, or?
We had a couple of things happen, but nothing too.
What do you reckon about tonight?
I think it'll be interesting, especially after what's gone off.
Well, there you go. What's gone off? What's gone off?
Somebody meant to have cleansed it, haven't they?
Oh yes, I've heard something about that. Somebody's gone in there and they've done a cleansing, haven't they? They've done an exorcism in there apparently.
Yeah,
but you know what? I've seen lots of properties like this that have been exorcised over the years, and it hasn't really changed the activity. In actual fact, sometimes it's increased it because it annoys whatever entity or spirit is in there.
Visits, if they're grounded, then it might have got rid of them. But if they visit, then
exactly, they can be in and out. Exactly. Yeah. So that's Adam, and this chap here is, there you go, that's Gary. Gary's also a fellow paranormal investigator. He's been doing it for quite a few years, like the rest of us. And you've done 30 East Drive yourself, haven't you?
I've done it about 7 times now.
And have you had activity there?
I've had sounds about that. I've not seen anything, but just mainly sort of sounds, unexplained thuds and taps and things moving.
Excellent. What do you reckon? Stuff tonight?
I'm hoping so, because there's only a few of us tonight, which we can sort of isolate what we need to isolate.
Yeah, exactly.
So everything, nothing can get contaminated. So I'm really hoping we can set things up, and probably we can get a camera in almost every room tonight.
Oh, that'll be good. So hopefully, guys, we'll get some activity. So once me and Gary and Adam go in there, and we're waiting for Will, aren't we?
Waiting for Will, yeah.
We're waiting for Will, so hopefully he'll turn up pretty soon, and it'll be all systems go. We'll go inside there. I'll run through some of the equipment. First of all, I'll take you on a bit of a tour of the house, so that it'll give you an idea of the outlay of it in the light, as it were. So yeah, speak to you soon, guys. See you inside the property. Right, so we're inside the interior of 30 East Drive. This is where it all happens. Well, hopefully this is where some of it may happen. So I'm taking you into the, I don't know what you'd call it really. It's like a sort of a little room towards the back of the property. And that's the lady there. That's Mrs. Pritchard. She was the lady who lived here with her daughter and her husband. And she is the lady whose daughter and her and her husband also suffered all the activity. They suffered all the horrors of the activity that went on here in the 1970s. And as I say, the film, When the Lights Went Out, is the film that is made about this property. So what's there? So that's that. Some pictures here, Mrs. Pritchard. Some other photos of the property. Bits and bobs, lots and lots of paraphernalia here. There's been lots of filming. Lots of TV programs. That's the film there. There's the advert for it, or the flyer, as it were, When the Lights Went Out, based on a true story, and that true story being in this property. So I'm going to walk you through here now. Now there's a scene in the film where Mr. Pritchard, he doesn't believe anything that his daughter and his wife is saying regarding the activity until he goes in here. He's in the coal bunker, and this is the infamous coal bunker, and the door closes behind him, and look, they've even got coal on the floor there, and the door closes behind him, and he suffers some bad experiences at the hands of the entity, the poltergeist. And that's just the toilet in there, and I ain't going in that toilet, that haunted loo. And this is the kitchen, as you can see, as denoted by the cooker and indeed the fridge that's down there. So we're going to walk through now. This is the sort of little bit of a dining area, as you can see. I just want to give you an overview of the property as we go around it, to give you an idea of the outlay of the house. And oh, look, there's Gary and Adam. Hello, boys. And this is the lounge. And it's all, you can see the paraphernalia in here, it's all very 1970s, and that's to give it the feel of or give the property the feel of what it was when all the activity was going on. So the boys are just going around now, they're doing some preliminary checks, they're sorting some bits and bobs out, they're looking at where they're going to... You're looking for a what, mate?
Weird science.
Weird science. Adam's looking for weird science. So I'm just going to open this door here. Ooh, it's dark out here. So this is the hall. You can't really see anything at the moment. I'll see if I can find the light switch. So, oh, I know it's pitch black. I'm sorry, guys. Bear with me. I'll just open this door here, throw a bit of light on the subject, and see if I can find out where the... Oh, there it is. So here's the light switch. Not very exciting in itself. Oh, that light's not working, but that is. Then up the stairs. You can see up the stairs there. The top of the stairs, there is a, hang on, bear with me. There is a clock, and the stairs and the clock feature in the film as well, because there's one point in the film where the clock at the top of the stairs gets thrown down it. So we'll go upstairs now. I'll just get my bearings, see what I see, and walk around here. There's the bathroom, just a second bathroom. This is the main bedroom. I'll turn the light on in here. And once again, very 1970s. Oh, is that the Osmonds? I think it is. It's the Osmonds. Beatles over here. Standard 1970s bed. And we have... I don't know if activity's gone on in here, to be honest with you. I can't say. But I do know that there has... The main set, or the centre of activity, has been in this room here. The small room. And this is the room where all the activity took place. And this is where the girl suffered at the hands of the entity, or the spirit, who is called, or refer to him, I think they've got his name, or his name has come through on Ouija board sessions that have been here, and it's spelt out the name Fred. So when we come in, we always say, hello Fred, just introduce ourselves, because obviously if you go to somebody else's home, it's just a polite thing to do. Nice shot of the 1970s wallpaper. Back out again. And this is the main bedroom. And the bed is in a different position than it was last time I was here. Because last time I was here, it was coming out from that wall there, with a creepy dolly over in the corner. So this is the main bedroom. There has been activity in here over the years. Too much to list really. Now the thing about this property as well is that it's built, people want to know why the activity is centred here. Well, the reason people believe the activity is centred here is because this property was built on an old farm, or old farmland or farming land, and where this house sits and the one next door, I believe that there was a barn here at some point, and it used to be in the hands of the church, sort of pre-Reformation. And that's the reason they believe that the property was, because you know that it's not generally the properties are haunted, but the haunting comes from, a lot of the time, the land, not so much the property itself, but the land. And such is the case with this building here. As I say, it goes back hundreds of years, and that's why they believe that it's the Black Monk of Pontefract that haunts it. Because obviously it used to be church land. So turn the lights off. I can get a hang of, there you go. And now we'll, that is really that. So we'll just pop back downstairs.
when you do that, you
Right,
go
we're
live.
here, guys. And what I'm doing, I'm going to show you, we're setting up now, we're going to go live in a moment. Let's go over there. I'll show you some of the equipment. There's Adam.
Yeah.
So what we have here, we have the SLS camera. And what it is, it's a skeletal tracker. And it can skeletal track a living person. And it can skeletal track a spirit. Well, that's the objective, and that's what they say it does. I've seen it in action and it seems to work. So even though you can't see the spirit form in the flesh, as it were, because it doesn't have any, you can actually see its skeletal format on that screen. But we're having a few problems with that at the moment, so what we're going to do is we're going to get back to that a little bit later, see if we can fix it. We've got an issue with the software. What else have we got? We've got lots of stuff. We've got the clown there. I'll show you him in a minute. We've also got this piece of kit here. Now this is fantastic for anybody who's just starting out in ghost hunting, or for anybody that's accomplished, that's been doing it for years. Now I've bought many cameras over the years that are IR and infrared, and they are good, but this is a fantastic little piece of kit. I'm going to try and get some use out of that later. It's made by a friend of mine called Damon, and he runs a YouTube channel called Nina the Ambulance Camper, and you can buy them from him off of eBay. I'll see if I can put a link onto him. And yeah, it's a great piece of kit, and he's a very nice guy. So yeah, I would recommend one of those. Reasonably priced, and for what it is, for the money you pay for it, it's fantastic. So there's a box of tricks there. So we've got the voice recorder, as you can see here. It's a Zoom one. It's an H2 Next. That's really good. That's sort of studio quality, so that can pick up anything. Can pick up the fart of the fly. And far. And I've got the RT EVP, professional EVP instrument. You can listen to electronic voice phenomena live with that. That's pretty good. Now I'm going to go over and look at some of Gary's kit. Gary's got an all singing, all dancing camera there. That's a proper film camera. That's what the big boys use. That's professional as it comes. And we have here another infrared camera, also Gary's, and that's got the light at the top, and that can be, you can do it as a lock off because it's on a stand, so that's pretty cool. You can do my one as a lock off as well. We've got a REM pod here, and I'll show you, and they're fantastic. They can pick up on EMF. They can pick up on can they pick up on static, this one, Gary?
Do you know what? I can't remember.
They can pick up
I think sudden changes in temperature.
Sudden changes in the temperature.
Yeah, EMF. I'm sure there's something else. Oh, pressure.
And pressure. So that's pretty good. So if anything moves, anything knocks, anything goes near it, that will go off like a car alarm. So that's pretty cool. Gary, one of Gary's cases there with his kits in it. So Adam's brought himself with him. He's brought himself a infrared camera there, and the pièce de résistance, as they say. We have this item here, which is also Gary's, and this is a ghost portal. And this really is a fantastic piece of kit. In actual fact, you'll see it in action a little bit later. And what it does is it clears up. We use things called ghost boxes, which is, it's basically a detuned radio, and Spirit can utilise the airwaves, and they can send messages through. So they can speak to you, send the odd word through, and you know, see if we can connect it up and see if it's relevant. But once we connect it to this, it clears it up a lot. There's hardly any white noise. And it really does the job. It's fantastic. So yes, so those are just a few bits of the equipment that we've got. Come around to see me. I don't know if you can. Yeah, there you go. Ooh, there I am. So we're going to get down to it in a minute. We're going to lights off, as they say, and we're going to get into the investigation.
Sorry, I'm just
Speak to you soon. There you go. Let's go around again. Have a look at. There you go. And we'll be back in a sec. Alright guys, we're just sitting down in the lounge now. We're about to, I don't know what we're going to do. Gary and Adam set all the IR cameras up, and I think I'm going to go and do the investigation through this camera that's on here at the moment, rather than going for red at the minute. I don't know what the boys are going to do. What, you doing, Vigil boys, or?
Yeah, we go for Vigil.
So we're going to go for a vigil, and that means that we're going to ask out questions and hopefully pick up some answers via some of the recording equipment that we've got here. Or, you never know your luck, maybe even audibly. So I'm going to review this footage once I get it home, see if there's any disembodied voices on it. Hopefully there will be. But please listen, because, you know, I'm getting old now. My ears aren't what they used to be, and you might be able to hear stuff that I can't. So listen carefully for me and let me know if you would. Is there anybody here with us this evening? Are there any spirits? People from the other side? Would you like to come forward and let yourself be known? I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Dan.
I'm Adam.
Adam's over there.
And I'm Gary.
And there's Gary.
Can you do something for us?
Can you bang on something? Make a knocking noise? Move something?
Can you push the pushchair off the stairs?
Are you with us here? Are you with us here this evening, Fred? I believe you like to be called Fred. I believe you had it known that your name was Fred and you like to be called or referred to as Fred. What do you think of the medium that tried to do the clearance and remove you from the property? Are you angry with them?
Can you shut this kitchen door for us?
Yeah, it's the voices.
Yeah, I recognise the voice.
You can hear some voices in the background. We just heard it. Gary picked up on it as well, and I'm sure Adam did. And it's just the voices bleeding through from next door. It's like I was saying, guys, you know, you can do an investigation. You can sit there for night after night, hour after hour, and get absolutely nothing. Lots of people think that it's like some of these well-known TV programs, and it's not like that at all. It's infrequent, but when it happens, it's pretty good. And if it's going to happen anywhere, I guess it'd be in this house, because it's notoriously haunted.
Can you effect the device that's upstairs on the table? Make it go off. Just go near it, tap on the floor, tap on the wall, it'll go off.
You know, we're not here to treat you like a sideshow or a circus or an act. We're here with all due respect. We're here with love in our hearts, and all we want is answers. We would like to know from you, wherever you are and whoever you are, what it's like for you. We'd like to know who you are. Come forward, friend.
We would be ever so grateful and thankful if you could just move something, make a few knocks, make a sound. Even if we can't hear you audibly, hopefully this camera will pick up your voice.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Who's it?
That's just
No,
that's Adam's phone.
Hello? 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 Now then, mate.
Well,
have
we'll
you
get
got
back
hold
to
of him?
you a little bit later.
What's up with him?
So Gary's rewinding the voice recorder.
Yeah, so what we do, we won't go through this because it's...
Okay. So Gary's just reviewing the voice recorder for any EVPs, any electronic voice phenomena. So that's to say spirit communication and voices from the disembodied on to the recorder itself. We're not going to go through it now, as Gary, quite rightly pointed out. You need to sit down and really go through it with a fine tooth comb. But that's it for this vigil, I think. So I don't think it's proffered anything, but that's not unusual. But we've got some other stuff. We've got a bag of tricks, so we'll get onto those in a bit, and we've got a long evening. Speak to you in a bit, guys. Right, guys, we've had some activity. One of the machines has gone off upstairs, which can only mean one thing, that there's some sort of activity or electrical interference. So these are the stairs. I'm going to go up there now. Sorry about the lighting, guys.
Can you make that device go off again for me? Can you tap on the table? Thank you.
Getting answers.
Can you do it again? Can you make 3 lights go off this time?
I'll turn you around so you can have a look.
What I'm going to do is, I'm going to get my REM pod. I'm going to put my REM pod next to that.
Yeah.
And then as soon as anything comes up on it.
Yes. Good
Okay,
Let me just grab it,
it.
just come through here.
Right, guys. Sorry about the lighting, but this is the
5 o'clock.
Make a noise.
there's a setup there. The REM pod is the one that's making
You
the
think
noise.
about it, we've all been sat down ignoring it, talking.
I'm going to move away from that.
The REM pod's next to this unit.
Can you kindly set that device off for us again? Either one. Got something else for you to play with now.
What's that noise?
Is it the bed
Someone talking.
downstairs?
Not next door, is it?
No, that's in the house, isn't it?
And
Right, okay. So we can hear voices from downstairs, and we think we can. We'll have a little investigate.
that might be
It's just
that
you
one.
moving around.
That's
is it?
me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go
They'll pick up
downstairs,
on the movements.
check downstairs, and see what that noise is and what them voices are.
Can you set that device off for us again, please?
Big vibration then.
Yeah, vibration. No,
Hello? Is there anybody down here? It's the noise of the stairs. It's me going down the stairs, guys.
You can set that device off for us again, please. Either one.
Let's turn this light off. Is there somebody down here with me?
Is there somebody talking? Do we hear somebody talking down here? I'm down here on my own. If you'd like to come forward and talk, you'd be more than welcome. We'll go through here now and see where that's the kitchen, guys. So let's have a look in here. Is there anybody in here? So the
Can we just try and experiment, guys?
we're going to try and experiment now, guys.
Okay, I'm going to bang this floorboard.
Okay.
See if we can set that thing up upstairs off, right?
Okay.
Ready? Not that, is it?
So you can see that we're trying to debunk things before we run away with the idea that it's paranormal activity. We don't jump to that conclusion, as I was saying.
Right, can we have a lock-off camera upstairs?
Yeah.
Can we get this light? Can we get this light on?
Yeah, sure.
No, I'm going to turn this off. Okay, I'll just let them
What we're
know.
doing, locking off that segment.
Yeah. Right. We've been getting a bit of activity upstairs on the with what's it call it? Not a REM pod.
The vibe pod.
The Vipod.
Vipod.
Adam's Vipod. I'll put the REM pod next to it. It's on in the middle bedroom, and it's on the table. It's going off, so I'll put the REM pod next to it, see where we can get that set up. I've hit the floor here. I try to set it off from down here, but it won't go off. So what we're going to do, we're going to get one of our lock-off cameras there to face it from the bed, looking at the table, and see if we can catch anything from there.
Okay, so as you can see, we're going to, you heard Gary mention a lock-off camera, and what we'll be doing, we'll be putting an infrared camera. That's right, mate, you can turn it on. We'll be putting an infrared camera locked off on the Vipod and the REM pod that's upstairs, and it was the Vipod that was picking up on the movement in the electromagnetic field, which is sometimes an indicator of spiritual activity, spirit activity. So we'll be locking a camera off on that. That means the camera will be focused on it fully, and then from that, if there's any activity around it or any movement or what have you, the camera should hopefully pick it up. It will certainly pick up the activity and the noises and the buzzes from the REM pod and Vipod. So that's all good. So hopefully things are getting a little bit active here. Hopefully they'll get a bit more active, because that's what we're here for, and we'll just see how it goes. Right, guys, the machine that you can see there, which belongs to Gary, is a ghost portal. And what it does is you can either connect your phone to it, and you can download an app that was made and designed by the same guy, Huff Paranormal, who designed and made the actual ghost portal itself, or designed it and made it, as I say. And what we do, we use Gary's got it in his hands now. We normally use what is a ghost box. That's all right, no problem. We use a ghost box, and it's basically a detuned radio. This one is specifically made for paranormal research. In the early days, we used to use Radio Shack radios that have been converted. And what the radios do is they scan various, you put them on any frequency, AM or FM, and they continuously scan it. They do forward and reverse sweep. And Spirit are meant to be able to utilise the white noise and utilise the airwaves and communicate to you through that. So hopefully you can get a conversation going. As I say, there's a lot of white noise with that, but once it's actually connected to this thing here, the ghost portal, then it clears it up. You can use these things here, these pedals, either side, and you can clear up the noise, get rid of the white noise. The white noise is dramatically reduced now as compared to what it would be if it was just the radio. And you can have direct communication to Spirit through that. So Spirit you can ask questions, and hopefully you get the answers back. So we're going to do an experiment with that in a moment. We're going to get the lights out. We're going to get this going, and we're going to see what we can get. So okay. Let's drink it in at the moment. Get the atmosphere of it. Is there anybody there that would like to communicate with us this evening? Would you like to come forward? Give us your name, please. My name is Dan. Is there anything you'd like to tell us about who you are? It's just a thumping at the minute and a tapping, not sure.
Try a different frequency.
I'm going to try a different frequency. What one was that, Gary? Was that
That was
A?
AM.
That's AM. FM normally produces better. Well, I think personally. I mean, personally, I think FM's the best. No problem. Away you go. You all right, buddy? All right, mate. No problem. So I think, have you asked Gary to turn it onto FM now? I think, haven't you, mate? Yeah. Is there anybody in the spirit world that would like to come forward and communicate with us this evening? I think I can hear your voices, or I can hear a voice. Could you make it clearer, please? Could you make it a little bit louder? What is your name, please? My name is Dan. Are you in this property? Are you in this house? I know you're trying very hard to communicate with us, so I thank you for it. We all do. We really appreciate it. Is that a lady speaking? It sounded like a lady. It sounded like a female. Would you tell us your name, please? There's a gentleman's voice as well there, I think. So Gary's just using the dials and buttons on the side to clean it up a little bit, and there you go. Hello? Is that any easier for you? Hello? Sorry, Adam. No, you go, mate. You crack on. You crack on. I'm sorry, sir. I can't make out what you're saying. Is there a lady and a gentleman there? Just a little bit more of the ghost box, or the ghost portal.
All these guys, everything was
Right part news.
Joe, you can
Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Hello there, can you hear us? Can you hear me?
behind that clique. And the clear and
Get down.
Can you hear me?
right.
Could you tell me your name, please?
Where? Of all
Well,
the
Sorry,
list
And when we
sorry, could you tell me your name, please? I didn't quite get that. My name is Dan.
guys are his race. So background. Purpose have been.
How many people are there here? How many spirits are there in this house with us this evening, please?
Computer. Living.
Bear in mind, this is on aeroplane mode.
That's interesting.
father got drunk in this vehicle. That were being,
Being what?
several.
That's an American accent, isn't it?
I don't think it matters about the accent.
Told the same.
What's your name?
What is
Paul Woodison.
so?
Here my
Say that
Hey there.
rough.
Did you say your
very
name?
good.
Your name
And
is,
Brian.
Your name's Brian.
your name's Brian. We're pleased to meet you.
Was
Brian.
that not?
Pleased to meet you, Brian. How are you?
One.
Alright.
Well, I'm glad to hear it, sir.
They insisted
Big help.
the next. And cities, anybody turn
Who's the lady with
ever
you?
again.
Could you tell us the lady's name, please? Or could she tell us her name, please?
Russian.
Wendy.
I thought it was
Saying
Brit.
that.
I'm sorry, my dear. Could you say that again, please?
So let me get.
They saw
Baseball? Do you like baseball?
also had this phenomenal theme that there was only.
Yeah, I'm going to grab a seat on edge of the bed. You all right, Gary?
Yeah, alright, yeah.
Good man. Do you want me to turn it off?
Yeah, if you don't mind, mate.
No, of course I don't, mate. Let's turn this light off. And brilliant, I can't see where I'm going. Just turn it on before I can get the bearings. Right, sorry boys, I can see now, I couldn't see where I was. Right, alright. So we're in the main bedroom now.
And I'm stripping ready for
Alan's getting ready for God knows what. And we've set the REM pod up again. The Vipod, is it?
Yeah.
That's
Put it on
there.
top of the door anyway.
Oh, okay, good.
Not
So
literally
obviously
on
you can
top
see
of it.
because it's night vision, but it's pitch black in here.
Well, I'm just going to have to explain where we are.
Okay, mate.
Okay, we're all three of us in the middle bedroom at the moment. And what we've done, we've set up EDI meter, I did that see behind down the side there, and Adam's, what do you call it again? Vipod. It does keep going off every now and we don't know whether that's paranormal or not. So
Abnormal.
we're just going to do a bit of calling out in here, see what we can pick up. It's got, just to be honest, it's gone a bit quiet here. Not heard any bangs and knocks. It's raining out, so hopefully we can encourage it.
See if we can get it to do something. Fred, sorry.
I'm just going to turn the light off, guys, so you get an idea of how dark it is in here. Still got some light there. But it is actually, you can see my shadow on the wall. It's actually pitch dark in here. So dark. Put the light back on again. So if you can pick up on that, that's a ghost grid. And that picks up on shadow movement. So it defines the shadow against the wall so you can see it quite plainly. Got a natty little tool. It's been in use for quite a few years now. Not this particular one, but this item in general.
That's some real patterns as well.
It does, it makes wonderful patterns. A bit of a paranormal disco. I'm just doing a bit of IR footage so that I can show you the quality of this camera and how brilliant it actually is and superb that it is. And I'm going to turn it off now. Right guys, it is early hours of the morning. I think it's probably around about 6:30, something like that. And we're wrapping up at 30 East Drive for the evening. It wasn't, well, there were some bits and bobs there that are questionable. There's some bits and bobs there that seem to be working in our favour, but overall it was a pretty quiet night. In actual fact, we all fell asleep for 3 hours. So much for the ravages of the poltergeist house at 30 East Drive. But yeah, it was a good night. It was fun, it was enjoyable, and all said and done, it's good to have a good investigation with your mates. So hope you all tune in again, and yeah, hope you tune in again. Hope you have a great day, and we'll speak to you very, very soon. Thanks very much, guys. I'm looking over there because I see somebody moving, but it's all right. It's just Adam. Adam's lurking. So yeah, so thanks very much, guys. Speak to you soon. Bye now.